The Beta 300, I mean, versus the T250i. So I haven't ridden this kind of terrain in 2 years, so I feel like I'm a new rider on it, and I'm like relearning how the bike is going to behave over the rock. But this one just makes it way more confidence inspiring. I'm 6'1". I can only imagine how the Xtrainer would feel.
I finally had the opportunity to truly see what the Xtrainer and the Beta 300RR does for you. I experienced it firsthand, why the Beta dirt bikes should not be overlooked, and why I think someone who is just getting into hard enduro should really consider the Beta dirt bike. Now, I have a TE250i, and hands down, it's a great bike. It's fast, tons of power, floats over obstacles well. For the first time, you can say firsthand that I was once pretty okay at riding this trail called Independence Trail down by Penrose Commons. You see, before starting my rental business, I would ride once or even twice a week. We would also do a lot of vacations and stay at some hotel for a few nights, so I had a pretty good amount of seat time. Sure, in the beginning, when I was first introduced to this trail, I struggled quite a bit, but I did not know better. I had nothing to compare it to. I was not sure how it felt to properly ride this trail. So you can say ignorance is bliss. I wouldn't have known any difference between a Beta 300RR, Xtrainer, and the TE250i. Well, fast forward some time, on the TE250i when I used to ride a lot, and I was able to ride through these rock fields pretty well. On the TE250i, I was comfortable on how my bike would behave. I was used to the off-camber part, rolling off the drops, how my bike would jerk as you would roll through these rock fields. Well, eventually my rental business became extremely busy. I actually had no time to ride dirt bikes. This business literally zapped my time and consumed me. And if I did ride, it would only be at the entrance and not go very far. So it was mostly on the flat stuff because, well, I have to answer calls, or if a customer got stuck or rolled an ATV, I would have to hear my phone ring. So this deprived me of riding my dirt bike, and little did I know, it also slowly zaps your skills and confidence. When it comes to this hard enduro stuff, it could probably just be me, but I feel like you constantly have to ride this kind of stuff so you don't lose your confidence and your abilities. Well, firsthand, finally I got to ride Independence Trail after 2 or 3 years. I have not touched this trail in such a long time. And this, you can say, is the ultimate test. Well, because I haven't ridden it in 2 or 3 years.
All right. This is kind of where, you know, the Xtrainer will give me confidence because the lower seat height, but so this one feels a lot more nimble than this one.
Yeah, this is tall.
Yeah, that one.
This one is actually, this one's giving me a lot more confidence.
This is the same bike, but mine's lowered with the lower speed, and mine feels much lower than that.
So instantly, this Beta 300 is giving me way more confidence, dude. I just feel better. It's not my bike too, so I kind of want to be a little bit more extra careful. Yeah, it's giving me way more confidence. I feel way better. So, you know, I'm looking at the Beta 300 and the Xtrainer. I think the Xtrainer made me feel way more confidence than this. But this is perfect. Like, I might leave it on first. Yeah, this feels, it's a great sitting down bike.
I started out with the TE250i, and although I'm 6'1", in this enduro trail you can't really flat foot anything. You essentially have to roll on the rocks with balance. And sure, I remember doing this trail with ease and a lot of confidence. I would stand up almost all of the time on this trail because I was confident on the trail. We would do this trail very frequently. When I went out on this day on the TE250i, I can tell you I was not comfortable at all. I completely forgot how my bike was going to behave, how it would feel to roll the front tire off some of these rocky drops, some of these jagged rocks. So you can say I fell down into the never ridden hard enduro category again because honestly I completely forgot how this feels. My confidence was completely gone, and the TE250i, with me barely touching the ground and tippy-toeing, honestly, I was terrified to roll over these rocks. And it was crazy because I was able to do most of this trail with no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm still learning what the bike is gonna do, learning its behavior, and that's all part of confidence.
You see, what happens when you are learning this kind of terrain, you're not going to stand up because of confidence. Believe me, I tried standing up this day, but I just couldn't. It's human nature when you are unconfident and unsure about this terrain, and you're just kind of learning, you know? Throw back 2 or 3 years ago, yeah, I was standing up most of the time on this trail because what I said earlier, I knew what the bike was going to do. I learned my skills was up there, my confidence was up there. Well, about 20 minutes into this trail, I test rode the 300RR and the Xtrainer down the road. And I can tell you the Beta 300RR and the Xtrainer really made a huge big difference getting through this trail. I told Mark from A&M Motors, like, hey, do you mind if I just stick on this Beta 300RR? Because I was not confident on the TE250i. I told him, I don't think I can get through this trail with my TE250i. It was just too tall of a bike. I felt like I was learning this trail all over again. And sure, I was not fast on the 300RR, but I for sure tractored through a lot better versus the TE250i and with a lot more confidence. You see, after falling back into the learning this quote-unquote enduro trail, the tall seat of the TE250i just made it miserable for me because I couldn't tell the tipping point.
Oh my god, that was terrifying. Dude, it's just like the feeling, all the feeling how it used to feel like.
Every rock I rolled over, essentially I was terrified because I couldn't touch the ground, or I couldn't really predict if I was gonna essentially fall. While with the Beta 300RR and the Xtrainer, it was extremely forgiving on all of my mistakes. Every hit stops from rocks, my feet was able to catch the ground and just completely tractor through. And the lightweight feel of the Xtrainer, especially the Xtrainer, allowed me to prevent a lot of drops and these weird off-camber positioning. I was able to manipulate the bike way better versus the TE250i. When you first learn these hard enduro trails, I hate to say it, at least for me, you'll be crawling up a lot of the times, putting your feet down, constantly looking down, learning how the bike behaves, feeling how the bike is going to roll over some of these jagged rocks. Essentially, it's playing with your overall balance and throwing your bike all over the place until you learn what it's going to do. And the Xtrainer is like a blanket for all of that. It's crazy. I say it a million times, but it gives you confidence. Now, we all know the proper way to ride this trail is to stand up. And that is how I used to ride this trail. But remember, my confidence was zapped away. And when I test rode the Beta 300RR, standing up also felt really well. The 300RR felt like a perfect glove for me, essentially. However, the Xtrainer, I did feel a little bit more hunched and cramped when I was standing up, but I really think with some ROX handlebar pivot risers, it would definitely fix the issue. Now, I might take it into a different video segment, the Beta Xtrainer versus the Beta 300RR, but between these two bikes, the Xtrainer was literally like a cheat code on this terrain. I really preferred the Xtrainer on this terrain sitting down because it was just that. It was a cheat code. I literally was just crawling through all of this entire rock field with way more confidence than the Beta 300RR. But don't get me wrong, the Beta 300RR was like 1,000 times more confidence than the TE250i and the KTM bikes. The Xtrainer literally was just cheating on top of the 300RR. It also allowed me to be on second gear most of the time, while the 300RR I was on first because it would flame out a little easier. But second was still rideable, but it would just stall quite a bit more easy. Now, why I think this video is very critical, it's not every day you see someone who used to ride this terrain well fall back down into this category and say, there's no way I can ride this terrain anymore. I know what it's like on this trail. So now I have a first-hand knowledge on what I was capable of, what I was able to do with the TE250i. And now being able, you know, literally having zero confidence to 100% confidence with the Beta 300RR and the Xtrainer to just tractor up this trail finally shows how rideable a Beta 300RR and Xtrainer is. At my current skill level, now since I no longer ride as much as I used to, my personal bike of choice honestly now is going to be a Beta. I just don't know which one to pick, the 300RR or the 200RR. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and hopefully tune in to some other future videos.